All right. Hey, this is Julian from Local Tree Service Marketing. I'm here with Harold Coopers. Harold, thank you so much for providing this testimony. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you found us.
Yes, my name is Harold Coopers, and I'm from the Olympic Northwest of Washington State, and I own a small tree service outfit. I raised my family as a timber faller, and my current tree service is pretty small. About a year and a half ago, I was searching for somebody to help me with some local marketing to gain more customers, and I ran across Julian and his business. And I had worked with some marketers prior to that. As a matter of fact, I'd worked with 4 marketers prior to that, and I wasn't treated very well. All 4 of them didn't do what they said that they could do, what they promised that they could do, although they were glad to take my money.
Yeah.
So I was kind of apprehensive when I ran into Julian, and I was kind of in the position because of my age. I'm 56 years old, on the fence about whether or not I wanted to retire or go a little bit bigger and prolong my career in this business. And like I said, I found Julian a year and a half ago, and I hadn't really made that decision, so I kind of sat on it. But the reason I sat on Julian was that I just had this stinking suspicion that what I heard from him and what I saw from him, that he was an honorable and straightforward and trusting guy. And I told my wife that for a year and a half. I tell my wife, if I ever decide that I want to get back in and grow bigger and work with another marketer, it's going to be Julian. I'm going to give him the chance because of just what I felt from watching his online presence. And had a quick little conversation with you a year and a half ago, but I wasn't prepared to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So then coming up, a couple months ago, I was finally ready to pull the trigger. I want to work with Julian. I want to give him a chance, and I want to grow a little bit bigger, I thought. I went further with Julian. We spoke. He got me set up, and he blew me out of the water. He proved to me that I really didn't want to grow any bigger because he fed so much work to me so quickly that I decided I really am ready to retire. I don't want to work that hard. When Julian and his team were setting me up, they were telling me what they could do, and I'm just, in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, I've heard this before. It's going to cost me some money, and it's just not going to happen. Well, it took a while to get things set up, and I've got this team, and I'm going, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is just going to cost me a bunch of money, and it ain't going to work. But as soon as things were set up and I was online, bam, my phone started ringing. I had prior work plus the new work, and I was just overwhelmed. And I said, you know what? I'm ready to retire. Not because Julian wasn't doing his job, but because Julian and his team were doing their job. And I realized that I'm 56 and I don't want that much work.
Wow, that's great. Would you say it's a good value? Would you say, for the amount that we charge, you get a lot of clients and phone calls and customers coming in the door?
Yes, the value is absolutely there. But the really important thing is that what you told me materialized.
Amen.
Matter of fact, in the beginning, you said you like to undersell and overproduce. That is exactly what happened.
Yeah, right on. Right on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What would you say to somebody who maybe is going through, the sales process with this, and they're not sure of whether they should move forward, or, they're a little concerned or something like that? What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, I know that the biggest concerns is there's a lot of folks out there that are doing what you do, Julian, and they're not as professional, they're not as prepared. So people like me, we end up spending a lot of time and energy and resources working with people that don't produce and cannot do what they say. You, on the other hand, can. So I highly recommend, if they want more work, you're the man to work with. You will give it to them, and the value is there.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Before we go, is there anything else that you comes to mind, or that you'd like to mention to others, as far as something maybe that surprised you, that you weren't ready for, or that you were pleasantly happy about that we did?
Well, with me, it's all about honesty and integrity. You can 1 + 1 is 2 and all that. What it boils down to me is working with and dealing with people that are straight shooters. They're honest, and they got integrity. And that's the thing that I really appreciated about you. I wish I was younger, because I would have loved to continue working with you. I'm just too old to do the amount of work that you're able to get to me.
Wow, well, that's saying something there. But Harold, we're not done yet. We're going to still stay on with you, and we're looking forward to continuing with you until you're completely done and you retire, because you're not retired yet, and we're gonna still find a way to keep working together, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Harold. We look forward to continuing the relationship, and we're glad we could help you so far. Thank you so much with the testimony.